you're out there listening to this, telling you right now, this is your sign. Why I'm saying this is that you have to embrace the power of the first mistake. That's the only way anything can happen. That's the only way you can achieve greatness. But guess what? I didn't know that out the gate. I had to learn this as I go. And if I would have held myself back at any given time and was afraid to go out there and embrace the first mistake, I would not even be here elaborating this message to you guys. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Ignite the World podcast. This is episode number 40, Evolution Over Perfection. Get it wrong the first time. I'm your host, Jamie Dottie Garza. Episode number 40. Whoop, whoop. Wow. The goal was 52 this year, y'all. I'm almost there. I want to reflect. The Holy Spirit convicted me to make this video motivational Monday for you guys. And I want to reflect on the power of getting it wrong the first time. Yeah, because oftentimes we hear that we have to get it right the first time. We think we have to get everything right the first time. And sometimes that stops us from even starting. The anxiety, that fear of failure to even perpetuate forward keeps us in bondage and keeps us back because we think everything has to be done right the first time. When we hear radio hits that's on the airwaves, what's the odds of them actually it being that was their first song? Yes, on the outside, it looks like they're overnight success. Like they just started whatever type of music they made and they made it a hit, but you don't know how many sacrifices they had to put. You don't know how many years, how many songs they had to do before that. And with that being said, I reflected on my life yesterday. I want to use this to serve as an inspiration piece because I am a walking testament of how evolution is very powerful. What I love about evolution is that it gives us the power to edit, to revise, to cut out things that don't work. It gives us the power to really hone in on our gifts and what we want to excel in. I'm a perfect example of that. Look, I was filming a wedding yesterday and I was reflecting back. One, I was doing it dolo. I'm so spoiled in having a second shooter, but for this instance, my second shooter wasn't available. He was under the weather. And it took me back to when I first started. Now, if guys listen to this, I remember filming my first wedding and I was doing it solo. And I was the guy filming every little detail, every little thing, filling up memory cards with a whole bunch of fluff that didn't need to have in post-production. And it just made for a long process of going through that. I also was an amateur and didn't really have professional equipment to mic up the officiant or mic up the groom when they were doing their vows. I was also so amateur that I didn't know what shots were important. The reason I'm saying this is that I had to get it wrong the first time because from that, I learned from those mistakes. Now I'm a seasoned vet where I could do it with my eyes closed. I know exactly what to capture. I know exactly who to mic up. I know exactly how to maneuver. I know exactly what to capture. If I didn't take that initial step, and if I was so focused on getting it right the first time out the gate, who knows if I would be even actually doing weddings. This podcast, for example, I didn't have it right the first time. First episode I dropped in January 2023. I did not know what I was going to talk about. I did not have this mic. I was just going off the camera and going full speed. In my earlier podcast, I was writing show notes. I was trying to look to the side, look there. It wasn't natural for me. Now, I don't have no scripts, no nothing. But I had to get it wrong the first time so I can learn what I like, what I didn't like, take out, edit, chop, delete. And now I have a seamless process where I do these in a matter of one take. I could do this less than 30 minutes. On the same day these drop, boom. And that's just how it rocks. I had to get it wrong the first time. Being a dad, I had to get it wrong the first time. I had to be a stepdad, learn how to be a leader, be a father figure. And then I had my own kids who are now 7 and 1. I had to get it wrong the first time because I didn't get it right the first out the gate. Why I'm saying this is that you have to embrace the power of the first mistake. That's the only way anything can happen. That's the only way you can achieve greatness. It's very rare that someone gets it right the first time. That's all what you see. I know grown men who are almost double my age, who I've seen conquer so much in their life, being brave, circumstance after circumstance. But you know what? Guess what? They have a fear of getting it wrong the first time. They have a fear of failure. They have a fear of starting. That desire, that burn in them, that's convicting them. They have a fear to do so. And most likely it's because they're afraid to make the first mistake. Everything in my life has been off of a first mistake. I never had it together. I still feel like I don't have it together. I feel like I'm still editing, revising my process at 34 years old, and I'm all here for it. About to go on 5 years of business, being an entrepreneur. I definitely cut off a lot of fat since when I first started. Now, if I go networking, I know exactly where to network, who to network with, not going to the same networking event that I see the same people 3 times a week. No. Powerful relationships, not trying to build a relationship with everybody in there, but picking out maybe 2 or 3 that would be beneficial to partner with, or I really truly were intrigued in and want to build a relationship with and foster that. 5 years, that's all it's been. But guess what? I didn't know that out the gate. I had to learn this as I go. And if I would have held myself back at any given time and was afraid to go out there and embrace the first mistake, I would not even be here elaborating this message to you guys. Whatever you want to do out there, it doesn't have to be perfect. That is unreal. Perfect does not even exist. Okay? That's just strictly opinionated. Your idea of perfect is different from my idea of perfect. What is going to happen though, you are going to make the first mistake. And you got to get it wrong the first time. That's the only way to learn. Marriage, I did it wrong the first time. Me and my partner, we got married, everything was great, but we forgot the fact that we have to really work together as a team. And we quickly realized that the first 6 months of marriage of 2021. Now, boom, and we're still learning. Everything learning. Embrace the mistakes, everybody. I know in this world, everything needs to be done faster, and it needs to be microwave effect. It needs to get done quick and results this, or I'm not doing it. This isn't right. No, you just got to stick with it. If it's still in you, if it's still burning you, you got to learn from it. If you're out there listening to this, I'm telling you right now, this is your sign. Embrace the first mistake. Whatever you have an idea of doing. Is it starting that business? Is it starting that social media page? Is it starting that TikTok? Is it going ahead and going out for that job position at your job that you know you're qualified for, and you opening your mouth and claiming it and telling somebody, hey, I'm looking to move forward here? Is it moving forward with that significant other to the next step of you want to get engaged? Go for it. Is it you want a relationship with God? Let me share this before I go out. I remember I got it wrong. I thought I was getting it wrong. I realized when I got back reconnected with God, it is a long process. First, I didn't know how to talk to the man. I didn't know how to talk to the Lord. So I was doing walks, but I also was living lukewarm. I got that wrong. You can't serve both sides. I also got it wrong where I wasn't just supposed to pray to him when I needed something. I need to pray with him each and every day, numerous times. Build a super relationship where I know I am covered. And that's where I'm at right now. And I still am learning as I get immersed in his word and I start living fully for him. The matter of it is, I had to embrace the first mistake. That's all I have for you guys. I hope this motivates you guys out there to go out and get it. It's there for you. You have a gift. Hone in on it. You will get backlash at first. It won't all be right when it first rolls out the gate. But guess what? All the entrepreneurs I interview, that I respect, that we partner with, they all got it wrong the first time. But that did not stop them from achieving greatness. You guys remember to stay blessed by the best, and we are all like sticks of dynamite. powers on the inside, but nothing happens until the fuse gets lit. Ignite the world.